Condemnations as Broadcasting Commission imposes fine on Trust TV, others for airing documentaries on banditry. Federal government says Abuja-Kaduna train will not run until all kidnapped victims are free. PDP Board of Trustees meeting holds in Abuja, silent on crisis rocking the party. And on the foreign scene, Ukraine's President Zelensky urges China to help end Russia's war in Ukraine. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. The decision by the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, to slam a fine of 5 million naira on Trust Television Network over the broadcast of a documentary titled Nigeria's Banditry, The Inside Story, has sparked widespread condemnation. The documentary was aired by the station on March 5, 2022, but the regulatory agency imposed these sanctions 5 months after, causing many industry stakeholders and other Nigerians to accuse the federal government agency of gagging the press and denying Nigerians the right to know. In its reaction, the International Press Center Executive Director Lanre Orogundade, in a statement, said the government should not dictate how the media should present its report to the public, adding that the spate of insecurity affects everyone. Credible information is key to getting to the root of the situation. Similarly, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, in a letter signed by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwudari, said the media has a duty to impart information and ideas on the issue of public importance, noting that carrying out the threat to sanction will lessen the flow of diverse viewpoints and information to the public. Meanwhile, a statement by Trust TV's management said while it's currently studying the Commission's action and weighing its options, it wishes to state unequivocally that as a television station, it believes it acted in the public interest by shedding light on the thorny issue of banditry and how it is affecting millions of citizens in the country. The Federal Executive Council has approved a contract to buy 60 utility vehicles with gadgets and associated accessories for security agencies working in the Federal Capital Territory. Minister of the FCT told newsmen at State House Abuja that the vehicles and equipment were valued at over 2.6 billion naira. Also on Wednesday, the Cabinet defended President Muhammadu Buhari's approval of 1.5 billion naira to buy 10 Toyota Land Cruiser vehicles for Niger Republic. Kehinde Amodu reports.
With speculations rife that the Federal Capital Territory is under siege, it is not surprising that the minister is boosting the capacity of security agencies with the purchase of vehicles and gadgets. But he is quick to downplay the purchase, describing it as routine.
The support the FCT administration is providing the security agencies operating within the FCT that is reflected in this memo is part of our continuous support to them. We do that in terms of providing logistics support, equipment, and some other support. And this is just a coincidence, but it's part of our normal support to them. There is tremendous effort by all to make sure that Abuja continues to be a safe haven for all of us.
Equally described as routine is the purchase of vehicles worth 1.5 billion naira for the Niger Republic. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed says it is not the first time Nigeria has had to support its neighbors to enhance their capacity to secure their countries. Also on Wednesday, the Council of Ministers announced the concessioning arrangement of the Badagry Deep Sea Port under a public-private partnership. The project cost approved by the Cabinet stood at $2.59 billion, while it was approved that the seaport will be developed in 4 phases with a concessional period of 45 years.
This project, it may interest you to know, will also generate a total revenue of over $53.6 billion over the concession period. It will create about 250,000 jobs and also attract foreign direct investments to the country and help in improving Nigeria's economy in general and the well-being of Nigerians.
Meanwhile, the Federal Executive Council has approved a national monitoring and evaluation policy for the country. This will establish a framework to promote good governance and accountability. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
The leadership of the Nigerian Senate has held a closed-door meeting with heads of security agencies over the worsening security in the country. The meeting, chaired by the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, was attended by other principal officers of the Senate and chairmen of security-related committees. The report.
In attendance were Chief of Defense Staff, the Inspector General of Police, the Commandant General of the Civil Defense Corps, Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, as well as Director General of the Department of State Service. In his opening remarks before the closed-door meeting, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan declared that Nigeria is at a crossroad, with its very existence under threat, owing to the growing insecurity in the country.
The security situation of Nigeria would have been far better, and Nigeria would have made more progress, not only in the area of security, but in the area of our economy, which is tied to the security situation again. I believe that our security agencies and armed forces have been doing their best, but apparently we have to do more to achieve what we desire to achieve.
The Senate President told security chiefs that the level of insecurity was frightening. Lawan, who attributed the low national revenue to crude oil theft, maintained that the expectation is to begin to see drastic improvement in the security situation.
This current present position where we are is most frightening, because it's like there's nowhere to hide or nowhere to go. It's like insecurity is everywhere, and especially if it is coming to the point of dislocating the security situation where the head of government, or where the government headquartered. So we really have to review and see what more we have to do and how differently we have to do.
On his part, the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Lucky Rabo, who noted that the issues of national security must be seen from a collective perspective, said a lot has happened, with more being done to improve the security situation of the country.
That quite a lot has happened, quite a lot has been done, quite a lot is being done to ensure that we improve on the security setting across the country. No one is leaving any stone unturned in redressing all the imbalances within the security environment.
The meeting, which was at the instance of the Senate leadership, is to come up with practical solutions for insecurity in the country.
And the federal government on Wednesday said the Abuja-Kaduna rail line will not resume until all those kidnapped by bandits in March are rescued and reunited with their families. Minister of Transportation, Maazu Sambo, disclosed this during an inspection visit to the Idu and Kubwa train stations in Abuja. He said the federal government was deploying advanced technologies to rail services across the country to forestall similar security breaches. On Tuesday, 5 of the abducted passengers regained their freedom, bringing the total number of released victims to 37. However, about 35 passengers remain in captivity of the bandits. The families of abducted passengers have led several protests demanding the government to facilitate the release of their loved ones. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has pulled down trees and shanties at a forest in Pasali along Kuje-Gwagwalada Road, suspected to be a haven for bandits and other criminal elements. According to reports, the Department of Development Control and Sanitation executed the demolition on Wednesday. The FCTA had earlier warned of plans to remove illegal structures along the Tipper Garage and Kuje-Gwagwalada Road axis. The Senior Special Assistant on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement to the FCT Minister, Ikharo Atta, told newsmen after the exercise that the aim was to clear the area of illegalities and restore it to the approved master plan. Terrorists have attacked and killed 3 people at Ransauni village in Batagarawa local government area of Katsina State. One of the victims, Abdurrashid Abbamana, was killed at Ransauni village, which is only 1 kilometer away from Babaruga village, the scene of last Sunday's attack. Reports say Abdurrashid Abbamana went to the farm but was trapped and killed by the terrorists. The terrorists also abducted dozens of people, including women and children, during the attack. And to politics now, where the People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees met in Abuja on Wednesday to discuss critical issues affecting the party. Top among the issues is the lingering acrimony between Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike and his presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar as a fallout of the party's presidential primary. Speaking shortly after the meeting on behalf of the BOT, Senator Abdul Lingi declined to make public the grievances of the governor, saying the committee has been set up to hold a meeting with Atiku Abubakar and reach out to Wike to find a solution to the existing acrimony between the two parties.
We have equally set out in this meeting committee of the BOT to be able to interface between warring factions, particularly between the acrimony that is taking place between the presidential candidate Wike and any other conflict that is taking place in the nation within our party formation.
Meanwhile, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, is set to partner with relevant stakeholders to curb vote buying during elections in the country. The Commission's Chief Superintendent, Public Enlightenment, Femi Gold, stated this in an interview with newsmen in Abuja. He said beyond the arrest and prosecution of vote buyers, the ICPC was intensifying sensitization campaigns in collaboration with stakeholders against the menace. The official said while the Commission will continue to arrest vote traders, sensitization was key in curbing the illegal act. Gold said as part of the efforts, the ICPC has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Independent National Electoral Commission to strengthen the campaign against vote buying. You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, Borno flyover builder goes to school. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
That's great. It's good to see you.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now a recap of our top stories. Condemnations as Broadcasting Commission imposes fine on Trust TV, others for airing documentaries on banditry. And federal government says Abuja-Kaduna train will not run till all kidnapped victims are free. And in other news, UNICEF has urged Sokoto and Zamfara state governments to ensure the full implementation of the Sustainability Plan of Girls Education Project, GEP3, in order to increase enrollment of girls in schools. The UNICEF Sokoto Chief of Field Office, Mariam Dawesh, made the appeal during a media dialogue on Girls Education Project, GEP3, in Sokoto. The report. Girls Education Project, GEP3, is funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK and implemented by the UNICEF in collaboration with the governments of the 6 GEP3 states, which include Bauchi, Kano, Katsina, Niger, Sokoto, and Zamfara states. The GEP3 is meant to increase enrollment of girls in schools in the 6 states, with a view to ensuring inclusiveness in basic education for all children from primary to secondary school level. It is against this backdrop that the media dialogue on girls' education is put together by UNICEF in collaboration with the Sokoto state government for relevant stakeholders, especially media practitioners, to arm them with the knowledge of the Girls' Education Project, GEP3, so that they can enlighten people on the project plan, and to also enlighten parents on the importance of girl-children education and encourage enrollment of girls in schools. The UNICEF Sokoto Chief of Field Office, Mariam Dawesh, pointed out that the Girls' Education Project had enrolled 418,614 girls in schools in Sokoto State, while 545,711 in Zamfara State, but said there is room for improvement. While there's remarkable increase in enrollment in the 2 states, the Chief of Field Office stressed the need for the states to demonstrate leadership by allocating resources, willpower to ensure the sustainability of the project.
The idea behind this media dialogue is to actually bring to the fore the importance of girl education in Nigeria as a whole. And of course, we are in Sokoto here. It's the girl education program called GEP3, which brings us here today. But I think I would like to focus on the larger picture, not necessarily, just GEP3. GEP3 is just one of the organs to make sure that we advocate and deliver girl education in the country as a whole. And of course, for us, we are responsible for right now Sokoto and Zamfara.
Education is an important building block and the most impactful way to empower girls. It influences critical human development outcomes. It reduces inequality. Educated girls are far more likely to be aware of issues surrounding violence and abuse and are less likely to become victims of domestic and sexual abuse or human trafficking. Educated girls are healthy citizens who raise healthier families. Educating women results in promoting self-respect and also helps in raising the status of women. Lower infant and child mortality as well as maternal mortality rates are a result of girls' education. And education ensures economic growth.
Participants of the 5 days media dialogue on girl education were drawn from Abuja, Sokoto and Zamfara states, which are expected to promote the importance of girls' education. Now, Muhammad Sani, a 13-year-old boy, caught the ascension of the world when he constructed the replica of the new Maiduguri using sticks and mud. He is now placed on full scholarship in one private school by the Borno state government. Kurizi Bitrus has been monitoring the development. He meets the boy to find out the inspiration behind his creativity. The report.
This is the Maiduguri City flyover, first of its kind in Borno State. Its beauty inspired 13-year-old Musa Sani to build a replica of the bridge with mud, cement, paint, and sticks. His parents said Musa has been making wonderful art right from age 5. He loves art, passion for sculpting, and have a dream of becoming a civil engineer someday. When I see something beautiful, I mold it. Like when my mom took me out, we passed the customs flyover. I loved the view, so I went on my own one day, took a critical look of it, then came home and looked for materials to mold it. I wish I could have a big space where I can design lots of things, have a house of our own, and don't walk to school every day. His mother said his talent amazed her and the family. She said he'd never learned designing from school nor textbooks, but does it with passion and accuracy, adding that it is her hope to support him to do more amazing things in the future.
to yana yin gida dai hakan ne ya zamanto har zai iya yin babban gida haka zai iya to sai ya zamanto.
He has been designing since at the age of 5. When I noticed the beautiful work, I started buying materials for him. But when he does it, children destroys it. So he keeps it close to his bed. I wish we have the means to get a big house where there's open field so he can continue molding things. I know he's going to become someone in future, and I pray for God's intervention so I can take care of him and my other children. Like every child, Musa hoped one day he will be able to build a house for his parents and a huge company that can support other children's creativity. But for now, he is focusing on the education that will pave way for him to achieve his dreams.
Journalists and public relations practitioners have agreed to cross-fertilize ideas to check the menace of quackery in the media space. They are, however, appealing to government to accord the media its appropriate status. Dashin Hussaina Usman has more.
There is a growing consensus that systems should be put in place to check quackery in the media industry. The onus is on journalists to bring up the right set of professionals to retool the system. At the head of public relations professionals is Dr. Mukhtar Siraju, who is stressing the need for strategic advocacy. Siraju brings to the fore the challenges journalists face in Nigeria, suing for developmental journalism and conflict-sensitive reporting.
We are here to see how we can partner with the NUJ to ensure that both the journalism and PR professions are rid of quacks. We are prepared to listen to the NUJ, and of course I believe it will also listen to us to see how we can cross-fertilize ideas to fight these menace. Otherwise, we will continue to be embarrassed unnecessarily by people who have no business being anywhere near our two professions.
The national president, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Chris Isiguzo, tasked journalists to shun religion, not pander to political actors, and to discuss Nigeria in earnest. He buttressed the need to change the perception the public has about journalists as communicators by setting a new agenda and applying their roles to the expectation of society.
When Nigeria is divided along religious lines, tribal lines, ethnic lines, political lines, I don't think there has been any time in the nation's history that we've been this divided. But we are not going to give up. I'm an incurable optimist when it comes to keeping hope alive. I believe that all of us together must work together, must join hands and build this big country of our dreams.
Journalists have tried to weed out quackery, but the consensus is that there is the need to do more as perception managers. Dashin Hussaina Usman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now for a look at the foreign scene, where Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has appealed for direct talks with China's Xi Jinping as he urged Beijing to use its political and economic influence on Russia to help end the war in his country. Zelensky on Thursday said that he has been asking for a conversation with the Chinese president since the Russian invasion of Ukraine began in February, but that one is yet to take place. China, which is Russia's most important ally, is yet to condemn what Russian President Vladimir Putin has called a special military operation in Ukraine, which he says is aimed at denazifying and demilitarizing the country. Reports say the 6-month conflict has killed at least 5,327 civilians in Ukraine and forced some 12 million people from their homes. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and, of course, follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.